Okay guys, we're going to be looking at today division with decimal leftovers. And what does that mean physically? When you've got a question such as 11 divided by 5, what's the answer actually? What does it really look like? Does it mean 11 shared between 5? That's a good way I like to think about it. Or is it, 5 sharing 11? Or how many times does 5 go into 11? That's another way of looking at it. But if you don't have a physical or conceptual understanding, you're not really going to grasp what's going on here. So let's have a little look at how this looks like sharing out some apples. So I know that 5 times 2 is 10, which is close. That's a little bit of a number fact that I might know up my sleeve. So 5 times 2 is 10. It's not quite 11. So what's that 1 that's left over? What are we going to do with that? What is it? So here I've got 11 apples. I've got 5 plates that are going to be shared out. I'm just going to go ahead and share out those 11 apples between the 5 people. You can see me sharing happily. So far it looks like each person's going to get 2, but what about this one leftover apple here? This guy right here. What are we going to do with him? Are we going to put him in the oven? Anybody want a baked apple? Is that even a thing? Who knows? But I think what would be good is a fair share. If we share this apple out fairly in a way that's not going to make these 5 kids of mine cry. Well, actually, I've got 4 kids. I don't have that many kids. I don't have 5 kids. I've got 4 kids, but they get pretty unhappy when I don't share things fairly. So, just a word of caution. At home, kids, don't use a knife. I'm an adult. I'm pretty old, and I've been cutting up apples for a while for my kids, so I'm pretty good at it. Make sure you get a parent to help you cut things up. You don't want to be doing that by yourself. All right, so I've cut my apple up into, looks like 5 pieces of apple. And instead of giving them a whole apple, I'll just give them a piece of an apple. I've tried to be pretty fair with my shares. You can see that some kids are going to get a little bit more, but just for the demonstration of this, we're going to be looking at these as, imagine that they're perfectly cut apples. And I'm just going to go ahead and share those out across the 5 plates. Make sure they're nice and even there. But what is this guy? Represented as a number, what is he? Well, we could say that he could be a remainder 1. He's like a remainder 1, but what is that? I mean, I don't really like that language. It doesn't make sense to me. I do like this one. It's a fraction. It's 1 part of 5, or 1 of 5 parts. So as we saw before, that I had 5 parts. The apple was cut into 5 even parts. So I like that fraction idea as 1 of 5 parts. But it could also be represented as a decimal, 0.2. 0.2. Now I can prove this. Now if I get this part here and I add it with that part there, 0.2 plus 0.2, well, I would have 0.4. And if I add another part on, well, 0.2 plus 0.2 plus 0.2, that would be 0.6. And you might be able to see a pattern here. Yes, the next is 0.8. And I'm not going to have 10. You could think 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I'm actually going to have 1. So 0.2 plus 0.2 plus 0.2 plus 0.2 plus 0.2 is 1 whole apple. And so there you go. I know that one of these pieces is worth 0.2. At the end, I could say that each person has received 2 0.2 apple pieces.